everybody, and welcome to Rock Video Rental. I am Brandon. With me, as always, is Caleb, and we are continuing on with Awesomely Bad Movie Month. We're going to be talking about a notoriously poorly aged movie in Soul Man. But before we
Oh.
get to that, we're going to do like we always do. Caleb, have you watched anything good?
No, don't really have anything to share this time around. We're didn't really get to watching anything except for some Bob's Burgers, so nothing really new to mention there. No other movies. Man, I thought there was some announcements about some movies or trailers, but
Running Man?
yes, Running Man. Thank you. Yeah,
The
saw the
Running
trailer for Running
Man.
Man, and I'm very hesitant with remakes and things like that. However, I am. It just seems like the main part they're taking is the concept of the movie,
Yeah.
of the game show of the Running Man, and making it kind of more like, okay, since that was made way back when, what does the future look like now, and how could this possibly be made, and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
if that is the take on it, and they're not really trying to regurgitate the same stuff and say like, oh, we're remaking it and we're going to try to, keep true to the original, then I'm okay with it, because
Mm-hmm.
those kind of things can be interesting. I'm trying to think of another good thought or experience with that. I know they're out there, but yeah, essentially where somebody takes the concept and idea, but they're just straight out going on being like, hey, I'm just going to make this my own thing, but use the same bone structure.
Kind of
So
like Dread 3D.
yeah, yes, something similar to that. That would be a decent example. So, well, almost like a little bit with all the things you get with the Superman, the different people playing Superman, different Spider-Mans and different things like that,
Yeah.
where they're not exactly telling the exact same story. That's
Mm-hmm.
not the best example, but yeah. Anyways, I'm a little
Batman.
optimistic about it. The trailer was good. So if you haven't seen it and you like the original Running Man, it'd be worth kind of checking out. And I don't know, I'm interested to hear what other people think, because yeah, what were your thoughts?
Um, I thought it looked interesting. It has a chance of being good. I thought it would have been funny if they had Steve Harvey as the bad guy,
That's awesome.
because it'd just be like another Family Feud host as the
Yeah.
bad guy. That would have been hilarious. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with it. I'm not fully against remakes of movies, but like like you said, if you're gonna take something, make it your own thing. Just kind of take the general idea of it. Um, and I mean, one of my favorite movies is RoboCop,
Hmm.
and I actually didn't think the remake was all that bad. I thought they did a decent job with that.
Yeah.
Even though I
Oh.
didn't really like how RoboCop looked, I thought how they handled the story and like stuff, I thought was pretty decent.
Hmm. Actually, the I feel like a decent one to kind of use that as an example, um, decent, I say, is Mad Max.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're all directed by George Miller, but like, you had the original Mad Maxes with Mel Gibson, and then they did the new one with
Hmm.
Tom Hardy, and it's like, okay, we're taking the same idea and the structure, but we're gonna tell a new story. Like, I think things like that, like, you can do it right and you can do it wrong, and there have been plenty that have been done in the past decade that have been so bad, so wrong.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's I'm optimistic for the Running Man.
Rock. Stuff that I watched. Honestly, not too much. I've been super busy with work and everything, so I haven't had too much of a chance to watch really anything. I did watch a few episodes of Trailer Park Boys just for something on. I've seen every episode multiple times, so
Rock.
not a huge deal. And then we started watching Big Bang Theory from the beginning again.
Okay.
Just another show to have on in the background. that you don't have to pay super close attention to. But that is pretty much it for me. I did watch Soul Man with C. Thomas Howell in blackface, so we probably should talk about that. Soul Man is from 1986 and is directed by Steve Miner. Miner, I hardly know her. That's what I always think of. You might recognize the name because he was the director of Friday the 13th Part 2. The
Movie is
plot,
closely related to that.
oh, very close. The plot, to achieve his dream of attending Harvard, a pampered teen poses as a young black man to receive a full scholarship. The cast, we got C. Thomas Howell as Mark, Ray Dawn Chong as Sarah, Ari Gross as Gordon, James Earl Jones for some reason as Professor Banks, Melora Hardin as Whitney, aka Jan Levinson, and Leslie Nielsen as Mr. Dunbar. This movie has a very strange cast.
Yeah, was not expecting that. You
Yeah.
there was also one other side character.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, what the heck were all these people doing in this movie? I really questioned why James Earl Jones was in this movie.
I
As
so
a strong and proud black man, why are you in this movie?
he I strongly question it too until the very end of the movie, and I was like, okay, this if someone pitched it to him this way, I could see how he got roped into it. With the focus being, because I was very confused about this movie. I'm just kind of like, man, this is a dumpster fire all over the place. From like they made, I understand it was made in '86. It came out in '86, but still, but they tried to redeem themselves at the end by making it like, oh, this is more of a not educational, but like a perspective film, a changing film, learn what it's like to be a person of another race kind of a thing, instead of being like, oh, just fun and gags.
Yeah.
And so that is the only way that I could see that James Earl Jones is like, you know what, this could make sense. This would be a good teachable kind of a thing, but it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. It's still crazy that he was in it.
Yeah. I totally agree. Uh, I think it's like this seems like a movie where they're like they went back and watched it and they're like, "Oh man, this movie is kind of racist." They're like, "Maybe we should do something to kind of try to redeem ourselves here at the end." And they just kind of like threw that stuff in at the end
Yeah, I
or
don't.
leaned heavily into it, I guess.
Yeah, I. It did feel a little thrown in there at the end. My mind goes to believing that it was intentional the whole time. However, I do kind of agree with you where maybe they watched at the end and they were like, "Oh shoot, maybe we should have built the foundation of this more throughout the film."
Yeah,
There were a couple little things, like there were those guys who were making racist jokes. And
right.
so the character Mark was kind of changing the way he reacted to it progressively through the movie, where at first he was just like, oh, whatever, no big deal, or no, I don't know, whatever he was saying.
Yeah,
And then
not
you,
not a big deal, guys. Yeah,
yeah, not a big deal, but you could
don't
tell that
worry.
was growing. And then the end of the movie, where it was kind of like the pinnacle of it. But yeah, they did not do much of that. Most of it was, oh, this is like, we're making this a joke throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. Uh, I think I've seen this movie like 3 times.
Okay.
Um, really, the reason I watch this the first time was because I don't know if you remembered when we covered the Lethal Weapon 5 episode of Always Sunny,
Mm-hmm.
and they're talking about when Mac was in blackface playing Murtaugh,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, it's a little problematic. And Mac's like, well, a lot of actors have worn blackface over the years. And Dennis says, yeah, like the great C. Thomas Howell and Soul Man.
Just
And I'm like, what the heck is this? And I like Googled it, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
I have to witness
I
this.
have to see this movie. So that was the first time I watched it. And then another time I watched it was just like to revisit it. And then again for the podcast.
Yeah. No, it's it's interesting because this is an outlier, I would say, in the awesomely bad movies.
Hmm.
Like because it's not as bad of a production as some because it was a higher budget movie and also a star-studded cast. But it's the content that was subject to the bad aspect. Like
Yeah.
it's something that you don't do anymore.
It's aged like a gallon of milk on a radiator.
Yeah. Now, an interesting thing about this, did man, actually when we were in college together, this happened. I can't actually I should probably look it up. Um, yeah, there was a I took an English class, an English class that covered literature,
Hmm.
and watching this movie totally made me think of it because one of the books that they had us cover was have you ever heard of the book Black Like Me?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so essentially a guy and pretty sure was the writer of the book um was a white guy and pretended to be black.
Hmm.
And now that is more of a oh crap, what's the word I'm looking for, but like an experiment, a educational scientific like experience thing. Like there was more positive that could come out of that situation of being able to learn something,
Hmm.
where this was like, hey, we're gonna have fun with this and we're gonna make jokes.
Yeah.
And then they threw in a little bit at the end where it's just like, oh, but you can learn from this experience.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that Black Like Me SNL did a spoof of it
Oh, okay.
back in the day called White Like Me. And it
Oh,
was Eddie Murphy in whiteface.
oh my gosh, I did not know about that.
Yeah, go back and watch that because it's pretty funny. And I mean, he looks um as much of like a white man as C. Thomas Howell looks like a black man in this movie, which is
was it
not at all.
was it like Chappelle when he did Whiteface?
Yes, yes, almost exactly like that. Oh man. Um, I mean, other than being an incredibly problematic movie, like like I said, why was James Earl Jones in this? He didn't need the money at the time. Like he already did, three Star Wars movies. He did the Conan movies. He did oh, what was the Coming to America?
Mm-hmm.
I think was right around this time. I think it might have came a little bit after with Eddie Murphy. So it's like it's not like he needed a paycheck. Uh, and I could kind of understand how some of the other people are in this because it was earlier in her career, like Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Mm-hmm.
Like her career really didn't take off until she was in Seinfeld. Because she did this and she did Troll as well. So yeah. Um, the way I think the most unbelievable thing in this is to believe that Mark, aka C. Thomas Howell, is actually a black man.
Yeah.
It just it doesn't. He just looks like a white dude with brown on his face.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple times where, like, from a distance, he actually looked dark enough that he could pass, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, like once you got close enough though and everything, it's just like, no, yeah. Like I was kind of anticipating that they were going to do some things to kind of like try to modify his appearance a little bit, like his
No, they just
facial.
put blackface on him in
Yeah,
a
that
Jerry
was it.
curl wig.
Yeah, that was it was weird.
uh, weirdly awesome. Not really. Um, man, did you watch the trailer for this?
No, it did not.
Oh gosh, I watched it the other day just because I was like, how do they handle this in a trailer? And there's a part where it's like, he didn't give up, he got down. And they play that clip of James Earl Jones taking attendance at the beginning of his class, and he goes, right on.
Oh my gosh, dude. That was so bad. And also like at the beginning of the movie, which I know that's what they were going for, like he was such a pompous ass.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Uh, so usually when we do movies like this, when we do any kind of movie, we try to figure out what's good, bad, and great. I'm gonna come right off the bat and say there's nothing that's great in this movie.
Aw, James Earl Jones.
Well, yeah, I mean James Earl Jones is good in what he did. Um,
With what he was supposed to do and what he was given, he was great.
oh yeah, he was intimidating as heck, like he always is.
Oh yeah, like that part at the end where he was like they were sitting across from each other at the table or at the desk.
Yeah,
And that look on his face, I was just like, dude, I never in my life would ever want to be on the other side of a desk from James Earl Jones.
it's like those scenes in The Office where Stanley yells at someone, and it's
Have you lost
terrifying.
your mind?
Yeah, boy, have you lost your mind? Because I'll help you find it. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much James Earl Jones with his, deep, intimidating voice and just the stern look. It's like him and Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince are like two of the most intimidating black men. But uh, yeah, I thought he did probably the best job of anybody in this movie. I mean, Rae Dawn Chong didn't do too bad of a job.
Yeah.
She was also in uh, Commando with Arnold, if you remember.
I looked up her filmography and I saw that. I did not remember that, but
Yeah, she was the one he technically kind of like kidnaps to take him to different places and stuff. But the flight attendant, I think she was. But and honestly, like C. Thomas Howell didn't do a bad job, even though like he had to wear blackface this whole movie.
yeah.
And I thought him and his friend had decent chemistry together.
Yeah. C. Thomas Howell did well. Um, Gross or Gordon, did pretty well, but not as good as C. Thomas Howell, in my opinion. Um, Jan, as I'll say, did relatively well. Leslie Nielsen was kind of funny because
Leslie Nielsen's always great.
yeah, but like he wasn't really given much to be funny though.
Yeah, didn't utilize him enough.
Yeah, that was a little disappointing with that because you knew what the uh, potential was,
Yeah,
and yeah, they didn't do it. Maybe they had some stuff and they cut it, but
yeah, I don't know.
oh man, and
Yeah.
speaking of him and like the little parts that he was in, holy amount of racist. Holy
Oh
amount of
gosh.
racist in some of
Well,
this movie.
okay, the elephant in the room, other than the blackface, the dinner scene,
Yes, that
because Leslie Nielsen plays Jan Levinson's dad. I mean, she's always gonna be Jan to me. Anytime I see Melora Hardin in anything, it's like, oh, it's Jan.
Mhm.
I'd like to start my movie off with a hearty bowl of Jan. But So they're sitting at the dinner table, and she's like, "Dad, did I tell you that Mark is in Harvard Law School?" And he's like, "Yeah, you told me." And then like the her mom looks at Mark, and she sees him as like a savage, and he's like, "I've spent my whole life wondering what a white woman was like, and now I finally get one." And he reaches forward and grabs her shirt.
Yeah.
And then they show um Leslie Nielsen, and they show his thoughts on him. And C. Thomas's Howell is dressed up like a freaking pimp with like a hat with a feather in it, and he's eating a big slice of watermelon, and Jan is knocked up, and he's like, uh, what was he? He says, "Give me my heroin and my hypodermic needle, bitch, and buy some more watermelon." And he's like, "Fat ass white." What does he call her? Fat ass white slut or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was like, this is the most racist thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well,
And
it's
that clip has become like a gif of him sitting there eating watermelon.
oh gosh.
I've seen it pop up before on Twitter and stuff where like, that also that gif of the black kid yelling that's racist. Like usually it gets tagged in there with that for like when someone posts something that could be taken as racist. Yeah,
Well,
and then they show the little brother like seeing him as Prince.
yeah. The thing that kind of that scene made me think of from another movie is, did you ever see Undercover Brother? Dave Chappelle was
Um,
in it, and
yeah.
crap, what's his name? Eddie Griffin.
Yep.
So you saw that?
Yeah, I've seen parts of it.
So the part where he turns, like, he doesn't change his skin color, but he essentially turns white.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know why, but that dinner scene made me kind of think of how Undercover Brother was playing him turning white, like
Yeah.
all the racial stereotypes that they were trying to do between those. But yeah, that was just bad. I mean, they did the basketball scene, and they were just like, "Oh man, you're supposed to be athletic." Um, they did those other guys telling racial jokes throughout the movie.
Hmm.
They did the getting pulled over by the cops
Yep.
thing. Man, well, and then the tenant of the
Yeah.
building.
Yep.
So just it, like, if the movie was supposed to be serious drama, like an experience kind of thing of learning and understanding what it's like to be of a different race, kind of like you can kind of see it, but man, it just, oh, so much bad. I feel like they were making this movie and they were thinking like, yeah, we're gonna be edgy and we're gonna like push things and it's gonna make people think, and this is gonna be a good thing, and nobody really was like, this is going to be bad and maybe we should change some things.
This is a little problematic. Um, you want to hear something kind of funny and ironic?
What?
The woman that wrote this movie is
Okay.
white, and you know what her last name is?
Black.
Yes.
A little
A
irony.
little bit. Oh, so we talked about the cast and everything, and I forgot to mention, um, the guy he talks to. Oh, he's not like a counselor. Yeah, he is like a counselor, isn't he? When he goes off in that tirade about like his son, and he compares C. Thomas Howell to his son.
Oh, the therapist shrink
Yeah,
guy.
do you know who that was?
No.
That was Willie Tanner from Elf,
Oh,
the
really?
dad from Elf. Yeah.
That's funny.
I was like, first he had to deal with a furry, wisecracking alien and kept trying to eat his cat. And now he's got to deal with C. Thomas Howell,
Yeah.
being a spoiled rich kid that takes pills to make himself black.
Now, one thing I will say that was a little bit of a surprise in this movie for me that I thought was kind of decent, but then at the same time is just like, wow, talk about stretch, is how it turned out to be that C. Thomas Howell stole the um, scholarship from Sarah Walker, the character
Yeah.
Sarah Walker. And I was just like, oh, dang, didn't see that coming. That makes sense. And then I was like, but like, I mean, what are the odds, of course?
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
So, but
Like what yeah, what are the odds of that? Like Harvard's a decent sized school. The um the scholarship was only given to black students from the Los Angeles area to go to Harvard,
mhm.
which is in Massachusetts.
But then she
So,
said something like, if no one in Los Angeles got it, it would go to the rest of the state or something.
oh, okay.
So, but even still, like they're just like, oh, we're both from California, crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, we're both from California. Oh, I was supposed to get that scholarship, but you got it. And I just can't get over the way he looks in this movie. Like, why did anybody think this guy was black? Like, it made me think of the episode of Seinfeld where Kramer was dating a black girl and it was taking him to like um meet her family. And there was something going on with Kramer, like he didn't sleep very good. And I can't remember what the whole reason was, but he was like super pale. So he went to go get like a tan to like give himself a little bit of color and he fell asleep in a tanning bed.
Mm.
So then he's like super dark like Hulk Hogan. And he goes and like meets the family and the dad's just like, thought you said you were bringing a white boy home. He's like, all I see is a damn fool. And then Kramer's got like this big smile on his face.
Oh gosh.
And that's something that made me think of it. Like he looked as much of a like a black guy as Kramer did in that episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah. Well, two other things that I have down in my notes of definitely needing to be mentioned. Um, one of the like another just racist, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. The Black Law Student Association.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, where he dressed up like a Black Panther.
Yes, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, no, they're not doing this. They're not doing this. And they went there. I just I just died. That was the moment of in the movie that reminded me of The Office with Michael Scott, where there are those moments that are just so cringe.
Yes.
So,
Like the one where he's
Scott's tots.
that and when he's date Mike and
Oh, yep.
yeah, all those
Or, or
moments.
or when he went to go on a date with Pam's like landlord or whatever,
Oh God.
and he tried to blow her off. Oh man, just so bad, so bad. So there's that one, but the other one that I had to mention, which made me bust out laughing, is near the beginning of the movie when they were talking about the scholarship for the black student.
Yeah.
And then I think it was after he did the blackface transition thing
Hmm.
and he was talking to Gordy about it.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Oh, come on, it's the 80s. It's the best time to be a black person. It's the Cosby decade." Oh my gosh, I like died. I was like, no way. Just
Oh
another thing that just did not age well. Did not age well.
no.
Oh
Uh,
man.
a lot of it just kind of grown. Uh,
One little note too that I had that just kind of made me laugh was that they had Jan's character
mhm.
sizing up uh black guys like she would size up male interns in the office.
Yes.
She was like looking him up and down and like
Uh,
looking at him like a piece of meat. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So that's where she gets it from.
my thoughts during this too when she popped up. And like when they slept together, I was just like, see Thomas Howell, super tan almost everywhere, Jan almost
Nice.
everywhere.
I will say I was when it was getting towards the end. Well, another moment too where it was getting super cringe was obviously like when everything fell apart
Yeah,
um with Sarah, his parents, Jan, everybody in the apartment and everything. I was just like, dude, how once it was building up to that, I mean, of course, you know it's going to have to come to something at the end. I was just like, how are they going to get out of this? How are they going to? The only thing I could envision was that he was going to like disappear and just like, make his exit and nobody was going to know better. They're just
yeah.
going to think that he disappeared and somehow he would come back as white Mark Watson or whatever. Um, and
Oh,
I don't know, just be some weird coincidence kind of thing. Like I had no idea. Now I will say it was rather interesting. And oh shoot, what's the movie? Um, do you know the movie A Time to Kill?
yeah. Yes,
Um,
they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
okay, so Matthew McConaughey is uh trying to make it as brief as possible. Samuel L. Jackson
Yeah,
is on trial for killing some white people because they killed a black girl,
yeah. His daughter.
his daughter, and so Matthew McConaughey is trying to, prove him not guilty or you know all that. And so he start at the end of his thing when he's doing like his final say, he talks about like, well, think of this little girl, you know, her living her life, going through all this, and then she gets, because I think they raped and killed her,
Yeah.
and then at the end of it, he's just like, and now I want you to think, um, uh, how would you react to that if that girl was white?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know exactly when A Time to Kill came out. I was gonna say I didn't know if they were taking something away from that because seriously, like that little end segment, and so help me if A Time to Kill had any thought process in their mind of this
Yeah.
movie, but I saw parallels there.
Yeah, A Time to Kill came out in the early 90s, didn't it?
Yeah, I just looked up. It's 96.
Yeah,
But when
mid 90s, I guess. Yeah.
Gordy was trying to do the pitch and everything for C. Thomas Howell before he came in as white, and he's doing this whole like, don't give a harsh judgment on him because of his upbringing. Don't think differently because of his color of his skin, and like all this stuff where they're leading you on that whole like racial thing, and then he's white
Yeah.
and they just like pull that out, and I chuckled a little bit because I saw the correlation there, but I didn't know exactly the comparison of when they came out. So that obviously, I really hope that Time to Kill did not get inspiration from this movie.
I highly doubt it, but that would be funny. Um, Man, I'm trying to think if there's anything that I left out. Oh, the whole ending thing where it kind of blows up in his face, where his parents randomly show up while he's like Jan's in his room, and then Sarah shows up and he's like, wearing a ski mask and gloves trying to hide himself. And that whole thing just had like, is this an episode of Charles in Charge or something? Where he's like trying to juggle two girlfriends, a date with two women at the same time. Like, that was really dumb.
Yeah, I kind of hate myself sometimes because in those situations I'm just like, there's some simple ways to figure this out too.
Yeah.
Like he could have had Jan go into Gordo's room
Hmm.
and be like, "Hey, if you're going to be here, you need to go into Gordo's room. Stay there for as long as you want, but you stay in his room." Then he wouldn't have to worry about Sarah going into his room. And
Yeah.
then when his parents showed up, he could have put Sarah in his room, and
Hmm.
then had his parents in the kitchen, and then just kind of dealt with that, and then kind of had it at least separated that way. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole purpose of these movies, to make those
Uh,
awkward situations. So
yeah. Faux show. Yeah, I also had my notes too that I thought he looked more like a Monchichi than a black man. And a Monchichi was like this really weird, creepy toy from the late 80s.
Well, he looked like a chia pet almost.
Yeah, he had that Jerry curl wig. A chia pet. He did. He looked like Chia Head. Or like um I know you're probably not gonna get this reference, and I don't know how many people listening to this are gonna get this reference, but I'm still gonna make it. Uh the song Hello by Lionel Richie. There's a music video where it's like a blind girl that he's singing it to, and she's making like a bust of his head, and it's like made out of clay, and it looks like Mark in this movie. Uh,
I definitely do not get that one, but I just looked it up. That's hilarious.
yeah, yeah. Uh, and then it's like at the end where he's just, he comes out and he's talking with James Earl Jones, and he's like, "I'm gonna give up my scholarship to Sarah." I'm like, can you do that?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna give this up and I'm gonna do this and do that and do this. And it was like a whole line of things. And James Earl Jones talking about all the stuff that he's learned. And
Yeah, James Earl Jones essentially walks away where he's like, I'm impressed with you.
yeah, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, and it's just like, well, okay, a couple, two other quick things to mention is I was a little disappointed that they played James Earl Jones that he wasn't smart enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed in that. I thought they were going to do it where he was figuring out when he was planning to come clean originally.
Yeah.
And I would be like, okay, that's cool. Like James Earl Jones, he's smart. He could figure it out. But they didn't do that. Oh well. But then the other thing that I had realized and thought about is just like I don't think that he was stupid enough. C. Thomas Howell's character, Mark Watson, was stupid enough to think like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fake being a black person and I'm just gonna go out and live my life like I normally would. I'm going to date people. I'm going to play sports. I'm going to do whatever I want, and this is going to be fine. Like he's gonna make connections through people, and then he's going to like if he tried playing out, he would make connections at Harvard. He would, and if he played it all the way to graduating, he would try to use those connections in the future, but he wouldn't be able to because he would
Yeah.
unless he kept blackface for the rest of his entire life.
Chia.
Like it, there was there was no real like now if he had done it and he tried to lay low the whole time, like try to go to class, be unnoticed, go through Harvard, get his degree, get in and get out,
Yeah.
that could have worked where essentially he'd be like, oh yeah, I went to Harvard, I was a really quiet kid, I didn't really do anything, and then he tried making connections afterwards. Okay, like that'd be feasible, but he was cracking jokes in class, he was trying to date girls, he was out at social events, and it's just like this doesn't make sense. Like if someone is trying to cheat the system, you don't blatantly do it quite like that when you're doing something so obviously wrong.
Yeah, you don't try to be big man on campus.
Yeah. And that's the way that he
Fake
was
black
doing it.
man on campus.
Oh my word. It was yeah, so that kind of annoyed me a little bit with this where it's just like I know movies aren't always entirely believable, especially in scenarios like this, but you're really setting up something where like this would never happen. Like even if someone tried to
Yeah.
fake to be black to get a scholarship, they would never go about it this way. So,
No. Um, I have a question too. So like he told Gordon that like he took pills, it was like tanning pills that like adjust the pigment in your skin, to make you have a tan. And he's like, I took more than the suggested dosage. Okay, so how does it explain his hair? Because, he had kind of like wavy, um, kind of combed back hair,
mm-hmm.
and it was, and then when he had the blackface on, he, like you said, he looked like a chia pet.
I don't know. Is it a was it a perm? I don't know. Like,
I thought it was more like a Jerry curl.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about hair. I don't have it, so
uh,
that's a luxury I
but
can't afford.
oh man. So yeah, like all of a sudden, is he wearing a wig? Did it affect his hair as well? Like, I have a lot of questions. This didn't have very many answers, and I'm probably just thinking too deep about this movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, like that's the thing where like this movie definitely was not trying to do that to make it deep. But when you sit down and you break it down like we are and reviewing it, you have those questions. You feel the need that there needs to be a little bit more substance. Now, of course, this is a comedy genre, and so it's going to a lot of it is going to be shallow because it's like they don't want you to deconstruct a comedy because it's going to be bizarre anyways. But at the end of the day, we're going to talk about it because yeah, there's a lot of holes and a lot of I mean, honestly, like even if he was able to dupe some of the white people, sorry, the black people should have like been able to out him like right away.
Yeah, like, who the hell is this idiot?
Yeah.
Oh man. I guess that was just supposed to be believable. Um, man, anything else you wanna? Oh, there's one more thing in my notes that I had. So when Elaine and her boyfriend like recognize Gordon, and then Mark puts his sunglasses on, and he starts swaying his head back and forth and smiling like he's Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
And then Gordon says his name is Kareem Abdul Ali.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, is he a Muslim? It's like, no, he's Canadian. That kind of made me laugh a little bit. But the whole swaying his head back and forth, I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah. Well, like it was so dumb too because poke a hole in that instantly right away. Gordo was the only one who had to stop. See, Thomas Howell could have kept walking. He's like,
Yeah.
they don't know who I am. Like, they see the back of me. They don't think that I'm Mark Watson. So I'll just keep walking. Gordo, you talk to him. And there we go. Easy
Like,
out.
and then he could have been like, oh, who is that? Is that a friend of yours? Like, no, it's just a guy from my class.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, where's Mark? Oh, he's around somewhere. I don't know. But like, whatever. They didn't
He's a
ask.
black man now.
Yeah.
He took pills, now he's black. Oh, gosh. Well, I could say it was nice seeing Jan Levinson in something else.
Yeah.
But uh trivia and facts?
Trivia facts.
All right. So C. Thomas Howell had to wear colored contacts when his skin was toned to look black. His eyes are normally a goldish color, and they really stood out once his skin was darkened.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So C. Thomas Howell and Radon Chong met on the set of this movie, got married, and later divorced.
Uh,
So C. Thomas Howell's dad, Chris Howell, did the stunts for the movie.
the stunts.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the stunts were. Maybe some of the basketball scenes?
Oh,
I don't
man.
know.
The stunts, as in like he coordinated all the stunts, or he did the stunts for his son.
I don't know. That's all I have.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I was just like, that'd be
Uh,
funny if he did. I think that means he did all the coordinated all the stunts. But
yeah,
anyways,
probably. So Tim Robbins was actually cast as Mark, but he had to drop out when he was filming Howard the Duck because it went over schedule.
oh my god.
So his two choices in 1986 were freaking Howard the Duck and Soul Man. Like, how did this dude go on to make the Shawshank Redemption like 10 years later?
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Well, he took a bullet to dodge a bullet.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, I'll jump in front of Howard the Duck, but I'm dodging Soul Man. Uh, so the scene where Mark first approaches Gordy as a black man, Gordon was originally supposed to believe Mark was going to mug him. An entire scene was filmed in which Mark played along with it and made Gordon sing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot.
Oh my gosh.
The scene was deleted from the final cut because although funny when filmed, the filmmakers thought it was inappropriate and racist. Where were
They
you guys the rest of the movie?
is that the only part of the movie that they watched?
Right?
Oh my word.
Oh gosh. So Ralph Macchio, who co-starred with C. Thomas Howell in The Outsiders, was offered the lead role, but he turned it down. And great move by Ralph Macchio. Uh, the producer Stephen Tisch offered the role of Mark Watson to the following actors: Anthony Michael Hall, I already mentioned Tim Robbins, and Ralph Macchio, Anthony Edwards, Val Kilmer, and John Cusack, all of whom declined the role.
Yeah,
Those are
probably.
some bigger names in the 80s, and they all turned it down.
Yeah, probably. Well, not probably. Absolutely, good call on their parts.
Yeah. Um,
Val Kilmer. Oh man, I'm so glad he didn't do it.
Val Kilmer, right? Uh, at least Val Kilmer's a good actor.
Well, yeah, that's the
Um,
thing. Is just like Val Kilmer. If he would have done it, like he would have committed.
oh yeah, for sure.
Where?
So
Wait,
the
where was
last thing I
Robert? Where was Robert Downey Jr. for all this?
probably making back to school with the Rodney Dangerfield. uh, so the last one here is gonna blow your mind. Uh, this movie had a $4.5 million budget. It made 35 million in the box office.
What?
Why was this movie so successful?
No
We could have
way.
got Soul Man too.
Oh my gosh. I wonder how long it took for it to get a bad rep.
I don't know. I think right out of the get-go it kind of was. Like I heard that Spike Lee saw part of it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then like obviously he condemned it as completely racist. But
Oh, no. So,
uh, so grades, IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes. What do you got?
oh man, IMDb 3.3.
It is a 5.3.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No way. I did not think it would get above a 4 point whatever. That's crazy. Okay, Rotten Tomato critic 36%.
17.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Yeah.
Uh Rotten Tomato audience 21%.
35.
Okay. All right. That's okay.
Yeah. I'll let you go first this time.
Ah, dang it.
Well, I can go first if you want me to.
No, 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 that's okay. That's okay. I don't want to be, I don't, this is a weird one. Because, I mean, gosh, dude, you could come out, you could so come right out of the bat and just be like 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5. Because for so many reasons. Um, I'm going to try to critique the movie for what the movie was and when it was
Hmm.
made and all that kind of stuff. First of all, I will start off by saying this movie did not withstand the test of time. I think that that is very clear and very direct. Um, man, it is. It's it it's edited and put together like the it flowed well. It's executed. It went too far. The acting and performances were pretty good. Um, as I said, James Earl Jones did his great stuff and everything. So I think I'm going to land at a 2 out of 5.
Okay.
I just feel like that's kind of like it is a watchable movie. But man, it's like if I ever came across anybody and they told me that Soul Man was one of their like not their favorite movie, but like one of their favorite movies to watch, I would question like if I should be
Their
associated.
integrity.
Yes, I would question if I should be associated with them. Now, saying like if you own the movie or if you've seen it multiple times, that's vastly different. But yeah, this should not be anyone saying proudly that this is a movie that they love to frequently watch or anything quite of that level.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah, uh, yeah, 2 out of 5. I'll leave it at that.
Right. What if they race swapped this movie and it was called like Honky or something?
Oh gosh.
And it was
Um,
like a black man wearing white face.
do they have a movie about that?
I don't know. I feel like it'd be more accepted.
Yeah. Well, and then it would also depend because okay, not to get down. Well, there was white chicks.
Yeah, that's true.
So not to get down the road too much, but like there is more of an issue of racism towards black people than there is racism towards white people.
Oh, yeah.
And so that I think is like the big difference there.
Hmm.
Not saying that they couldn't do anything with having a black person do whiteface and be like, oh no, that's not appropriate. Like there's definitely lines that could be crossed. But just because there's already that issue of the blatant things through the years of racism towards black people in the black community, that already poses problems for just the concept of this movie. So
Yeah.
let me see because I just looked up. So because it says white chicks. They mentioned the Saturday Night Live skit, and then there's three other ones that I don't know.
Chappelle Show.
Yeah, Chappelle Show.
Racial profiling?
The guy when he's the oh no, that wasn't when he did whiteface. But yeah, no, it would be vastly different. It would have been interesting if they tried doing that. If somebody tried taking on the project and doing them both kind of like around the same time.
Hmm.
That would have been kind of interesting to see how it was executed and how it was received and everything. But yeah, no, I'm still blowing my mind that this movie made what 5 times its no.
Almost 10 times its budget.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Um, yeah, so my grade. Um, it's a terrible movie. Like I said, it's aged like milk. Uh, I but at the end of the day, like it's still so it's one of those movies like you watch it and like, how did this get made? And like you're just in awe and it gets to the point where you almost laugh because it's so completely absurd. And it's just shocking that it was able to get by. And the whole fact that they took out the thing where, he acts like he's mugging his roommate and makes him sing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, and they thought that was too racist, but they were fine with the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I would say that it's bad, but it's entertaining at the same time. So I end up giving it a 2.5. So I'm kind of in the same area as you. And really, the acting wasn't bad. It's just the whole premise was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, like, C. Thomas Howell's a good actor, and he's been in quite a few things. Movies where he was a lot better, like The Outsiders and The Hitcher and things like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think a 2.5 is sufficient for this movie.
Yeah, I think that seems about. I was gonna say I don't think there's really any way that really somebody should go above maybe giving it a 3. Like I don't really see that, but I will admit, and because like we touched on things throughout this, like there were parts of this movie that were funny.
Hmm.
There were. Does that mean that I think that they necessarily should have made this movie? But there was also a lot wrong with this movie. I mean, even for back then, but especially now. And we
Yeah.
definitely addressed that as well. So,
I forgot a line that Jan had. It was right after they had sex, and she's like, I could almost feel 400 years of oppression in every single thrust.
oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Man, that was just, yeah.
Someone wrote that line.
Yep.
Oh, man. So, um, this is probably one of the most controversial movies that we've covered. But it's so ridiculous that I feel like it had to be included.
Yeah, I
And
feel like it was appropriate for this, like it in an awesomely bad movie month where
yeah,
I wouldn't call it awesome, but definitely had the bad elements, and it was a unique one.
yeah, for
We've
sure.
had a lot of different ones in awesomely bad, and it's better than some, kind of to a certain
Yeah,
degree, but definitely a unique one to talk about.
right. Yeah, next time we're gonna be covering a movie I've seen twice. Um, the first time I saw it, I watched it with my late friend Tom. Um, he was always like super into like the ridiculous movies that you could find at the rental stores.
Mhm.
So we're gonna be talking about Doll Man versus the Demonic Toys, which is a full moon release classic. It's a crossover between the Doll Man series and the Demonic Toys series. So if you guys have never seen that one, check it out before we talk about it next week. If you're liking the show, please subscribe and share. You can follow us on social media. We're pretty much everywhere, including YouTube and TikTok. So check those out. If you guys are liking the awesomely bad stuff, come by next time. We're going to be covering Doll Man versus the Demonic Toys. And until then, as always, be kind and rewind.